This video gives an introduction to navigating and using college and career readiness resources on the websites of the Massachusetts Department of Elementary and Secondary Education. We'll show you where to find these 3 resources and examine the population trends in your school or district. You can then refer to these trends when investigating graduation rates and dropout rates, and other educational outcomes covered in videos 2, 3, and 4, and when you're investigating early warning data covered in video 5 of this series. Profiles from the ESE homepage has a lot of information about every public school and district across Massachusetts. We can enter a school or district and select Go. Then we go directly to the school or district profile page. Here, let's select Students, where we see the percentage of students enrolled in each of the reported racial and ethnic groups for the school or the district and for the state. We can see other student groups if we click on Selected Populations. Use these to determine if there's one or several subgroups you'd like to focus on for future investigations. Notice you can go back in time to see these data from previous years, and you can select School to see school-level detail rather than district-level detail. For additional information, click on the Selected Populations report in the lower left corner. This opens up a new report. You can also select About this data to find explanations about the selected populations and other definitions. For example, a student is considered high needs if he or she is an English language learner, a former English language learner, a student with disabilities, or designated as low income before school year 2015, or designated as economically disadvantaged starting in the school year 2015. Now let's go to the DART. The DARTs, or District Analysis Review Tools, are tools that turn the department's extensive data into information that is easier to use. From a district's profile page, click on Analysis-DART to see the overview. On the left, click on Enrollment to see enrollment trends over time. This tool shows trends over time for your school of interest compared to state averages. Using the filters at the top, you can compare your school to another school, and you can see results for all students or for selected subgroups of students. There are several other DART tools available as Excel spreadsheets. One way to find them is by the link on the left. Another way is from the easy URL, mass.gov/ese/DART, or DART. Still another way is to find them from the ESE homepage on the drop-down menu, or the ESE homepage on the left. As you see, there are multiple pathways to find the DART tools. We'll use the link on the left. Select DART, then select DART again. However you get to the DART page, you'll see a series of Excel tools. We'll look at the Success After High School DART now. There's one for Macs and one for PCs. Click on the link and it will download to your browser. Open the tool in Excel and you see the Home tab. You can select your school in the upper left corner. You may also select a comparison school. The table now populates with details about your school and comparable schools. These are schools that have similar grades and demographics. The one shaded in orange is your school. These columns show the enrollment data for your school and the comparable schools. The Context tab also shows enrollment data, stability rate, and the ratio of students to school counselors. Use these reports to understand the enrollment context for your school and how it has changed over time, and compare it to other schools and to the state. You can also see these data for a select subgroup of students. In the green box at the top left side of the page, select a student population group. The tables and charts update to reflect this group. Next, let's look at Edwin. This is our secure data warehouse. You can find it from the home page a few different ways. At the top right, select Edwin from the menu and click the orange icon. Or you can click on the Mass Gateway logo or on the Edwin logo. If you're just getting started in Edwin, click on Analytics and then look at the Getting Started guide for tips. You can also find the Edwin Analytics contact for your school or district at this link. That contact will set you up with the right level of access for your role, which allows you to see Edwin reports appropriate for your work. To launch Edwin, click on the logo, Then put in your user ID and password and select the application list. Last, select Edwin Analytics, and this launches the Edwin tool. There are a number of Edwin-specific resources on the right side of the Edwin homepage. Click on links for resources and tutorials, or contact someone for additional support. Among the resources on the right, there's a summary of reports. Click on this and a summary is downloaded, which shows the various Edwin reports. They're grouped by category with information about their instructional uses and where to find them. Several college and career readiness resources are on the District and School Public tab, on the Early Warning Indicators and Post-Secondary Readiness categories. There are also some on the Unsuppressed tab, Early Warning Indicators category, and on the Student tab, the Early Warning Indicators and Post-Secondary categories. You may not see some of these tabs if you don't have student level access. Notice also that on the District and School Public tab, there's a category called Enrollment and Indicators. This has additional reports about enrollment. Many reports in Edwin can be generated for select subgroups of students. Use filters on the prompt pages to make a report for the subgroups of interest that you found in the Profiles section. The ESE website has a number of other videos and tutorials where you can find more information. In the search bar, type in Data in Action and select the Data in Action page. You'll find overview videos about the data tools, videos about using profiles, and videos about specific Edwin Analytics reports. As you've seen, there are several college and career readiness tools available on the ESE website, and you can find each of them using several pathways and links. You can find enrollment data on the profiles and the DART pages. Profiles has enrollment data for each year, and DARTs show them as trends over time. If you've identified student subgroups of interest, you can review DART and Edwin reports for these subgroups, which we'll cover in subsequent videos. Stay tuned for other videos about using the college and career readiness resources available on the websites of the Massachusetts Department of Elementary and Secondary Education.